Welcome to Hustle Radio, a podcast about the New York hustle mentality centered in the e-commerce industry, the official podcast of the E-Com Cooperative. Introducing your hosts, Frank Acosta and David Dayon.
Happy Friday, Frank.
Happy Friday, bro. What's going on, man?
Look at that sweater. What is going on here? We got Casual Fridays upgraded over here in Creative Percent headquarters.
That's how we're doing it, bro. That's how we're doing it.
Okay. We are here with episode 25 of New York Hustle Radio, Frank.
25.
The big 25.
We're climbing up the ladder, man. We should make a post about this. 25, man.
Definitely.
We're definitely under a few of our friends that are like in the hundreds and the 200s.
Oh, yeah, like Ryan Kramer is hitting 200. We're like celebrating on 25. Let's try to get like 10x that, and then we could be like a little more.
No. Sometimes, you know what, David, and sometimes you need to celebrate the small wins, man. Those small wins eventually go to bigger ones. So
there we go. Make a post about small wins, Frank. We need something like that.
Yeah. Good morning, Tovia.
Okay, we got Tovia in the audience. How we doing, Tovia? So today, guys, we have a very special episode. We have an awesome guest. We have some awesome cameo appearances, even though we scheduled this literally 4 a.m. in the morning a couple hours ago. So very last minute, like anything great is. And yeah, we have an amazing guest here today, Joshua Porter from Elite Seller. I'm going to bring him up. He's also the host of the Elite Seller podcast. How are we doing, Joshua?
What's up, David? What's up, Frank? How you guys doing this morning?
As you may or may not know, Joshua, we always go live with some music just to set the tone. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to appreciate this song. You ready for this?
Yeah, I like the vibe.
Here comes the. Here comes the. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it now. Here comes the.
Happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday, man.
Good weekend, now.
Let's turn up. I was trying to do this thing down. This is not happening. I'm going to get it in right now.
How we doing, guys?
Joshua Porter. First of all, let's start with your voice real quick, man. You have a unique radio voice, man.
The voice of e-commerce, or Amazon, we might say.
Yes.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I've gotten that compliment like pretty much my entire life.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, ever since 13 years old.
I know you have a podcast as well. Do you record the audio on it and just do audio as well, or is that not?
No, we do audio video. So we obviously record it in studio, somewhat similar to like this. Then we do some editing. We release the episodes on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I think YouTube Radio as well. And then we also go live with the video on YouTube. After we do some editing, we put in some notes, put in some title cards, some thumbnails, some transitions. It's pretty in depth.
So production, man.
The exact opposite of what we do here at New York Hustle Radio. We just go live and figure it out.
Yeah.
No, I honestly like your style.
Look, it started as a mistake and it's become a thing, right? So we're just riding the wave, seeing where it's going, and yeah, man, lucky to have people like you in our podcast, man, where we get to not only give our audience a good speaker, but we also learn. I don't know about you, David, but these podcasts to me, I'm like, I get so much information that I retain from it. And so to us is like double value, right? Where we're giving this information out to our audience, but us internally as being in the e-com space, it's always good to be up to date with things, and speaking to experts in their field. So
I think that the information, Frank, I think that just speaking for myself, the relationships I've built through the podcast is
for sure.
Amazing. Joshua, actually, let's start there, because I feel like you let's talk a little bit about Elite Seller podcast before we talk about Elite Seller software.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that experience been for you with Elite Seller podcast? How many episodes are you up to at the moment?
Well, currently right now we have 17 episodes in backlog. We're about to start season 2 of the Elite Seller show right around, I would say, mid-January. First and foremost, thank you for having me on here. I appreciate you guys bringing me on. I know that we've had our back and forths trying to schedule this one specific episode for probably like 3 months now.
Yes.
With scheduling conflicts and issues in the Amazon community, but we've managed to figure it out, and here we are right now. So the Elite Seller podcast is about to roll into season 2. We're going to switch it up. Obviously, you two guys are more than welcome to come on, and you can talk about Creative Percent, Amazon experts, the e-com cooperative, everything that you guys bring to the community. You can bring that forth over here at Elite Seller.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Looking forward. So you're 17 episodes in. That's awesome. And I know that like you said, your episodes have a lot more work into them. And I guess each one, how long would you say you plan each one? Like a couple weeks or more or less?
No. I'm the creative brain behind the Elite Seller Show. So obviously the CEO and the COO, they came up with the concept. They gave me full authority to just like say, do your thing, right?
Okay.
So I come up with the topics, I find the guests, I bring up the discussion points. It's all about giving back to the community. Obviously, it's never really about trying to sell anybody anything. It's about educating and bring people up to speed, because a lot of Amazon sellers, they're on different hierarchies of education when it comes down to it, so they fly in different circles of the informational life cycle. So having them come in and then having everybody come back to like an even playing field on higher level subjects, or even on lower level subjects that most newbie sellers are just grasping roots at, it actually brings everybody together. And then having,
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah. I personally,
and everything.
I checked out like a couple of episodes when I was deciding who to bring on for the cameo. That's the only hint you'll get. And I actually found myself subscribing because I was genuinely enjoying the episode and the knowledge and things that I didn't know before. And I just, again, I thought that the whole vibe and the way you were talking was extremely professional. It was like something that I could like put on. Like sometimes if there's a podcast that's audio only, it has to be really good. I'm the type of person that I want entertainment. I don't want something to just be dry. I need a little more, life to it. And I guess if I'm going to listen to something, it has to be really good. And that's why I was complimenting you on the voice. I just felt like I was listening to it, and I was like, wow, this is a good person, like a radio voice. When you hear a radio voice, Elvis Duran or whoever that guy is, like this guy is doing what he's meant to be doing. So
Casey Kasem comes to mind.
There we go. Okay, so today's topic, guys, is going to be a good one. We are talking about how to maximize post-purchase engagement, your customer lifetime with post-purchase engagement. I know that Joshua, you have a lot of experience in this area, and you definitely have a lot that Elite Seller does. So let's talk a little bit about Elite Seller. Let's talk a little bit about how this topic kind of, is something that you are familiar with, and exactly what your take on it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So just everybody that's listening right now, Elite Seller is a multi-Amazon account management software suite. We're designed specifically to help you scale, manage, automate, and research your entire business from a single account all the way up to hundreds of accounts. And the ease of access to Elite Seller is entirely how you choose to set it up. We come completely customizable to whatever actually fits your business needs. And you can actually just use it just for a reporting tool. You can use it for inventory management. You can use it for customer management. You can pretty much use it for anything to actually facilitate and level up your business. The whole purpose of it is to have you outwit and outrank your competition at every given step. So that's just a brief synopsis of Elite Seller. You can go check us out. Hop on over to eliteseller.com. We have a 45-day free trial going on right now until the end of the year. So if you claim that offer right now, you get to take our 45-day challenge, and you essentially get to see how you can level up and manage your business the way that a CEO should be running your business from the get-go.
And I want to just reiterate, it is definitely the everything tool in my mind, and the everything software, we'll call it. It really encompasses a lot. I feel like you guys thought of every single thing that could be of value, and you jammed it all into one easy to use, very easy to navigate also tool. If you're lucky enough to get one of those demos that Joshua does very well, your mind will be blown, and you'll really be excited for the 45-day trial, because it's something that really, like, the value is just pouring out of the seams. So definitely worth a look, worth a trial. I think worth a full subscription. So let's talk a little bit about your how you got started with Elite Seller. How long have you been with Elite Seller, and what was that journey like?
So on paper, I've been with Elite Seller for a little over a year. Off paper, I've been with Elite Seller for roughly about, I'd say maybe a year and 3 months, maybe a year and 5 months. Okay. That journey started out when I was doing my previous line of work, which was The Botanist, right? So that was a chat marketing agency that I was running pretty much by myself with a couple of assistants overseas. And I would essentially do product launches for Amazon sellers, as well as their social engagement ads to help them rank their products as they launched. What I've come to find is that it doesn't matter how well you rank your product. What really matters is the fortunes and the follow through every single time, right? So whether you're doing any kind of at that time, which would be considered within TOS, any kind of rebate service, coupon discounts, any kind of engagement like that, the real value is making sure that you actually capture and own those people afterwards, because that's where you can actually consistently launch your products over and over again without having to constantly rebuild the wheel or rebuild the cycle. It's essentially going to have a flywheel effect on every single product launch that you do moving forward.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then with the lead seller, giving that transition, right? They reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, you do ManyChat like extremely well. Can you come over here and you can work on our ManyChat campaigns and you can build up what we have going on. Also, we want you to be able to promote our software. You seem to know what you're doing in the Amazon space. You have a good grasp of everything." So that's pretty much how it started, and just started with a simple message on Messenger, just asking.
So I feel like to go from that position, like owning your own business, to then going and into the role that you're in now, it doesn't make sense unless you were very passionate about it and you really felt strongly, any business owner feels strongly about their mission, about their goal, about their mission statement, whatever they're trying to do. So I feel like if somebody is going to be incentivized or pulled away from that and drawn to something else, it has to be really real. Like, it had to have been something that you felt was the next step for you, and something you were passionate about, something you believed in. I guess you had to believe in it a lot. Mm-hmm. Is that an accurate assessment there? Like, did you?
No, that's very accurate. You're 100% correct on that. So just give you a little bit more history. I've actually been involved in e-com since I was around 20 years old. My first business, I would say, was me selling products on eBay. And my store was called Stuff Inside My Apartment Emporium. And it was just me selling all my possessions inside my apartment so I can afford to pay my rent and pay for my tuition in college. I pretty much sold everything in my apartment except for my bed, my laptop, and my cat. I'm pretty sure my cat really appreciated not being sold at that point in time, but it allowed me to leverage things up. And this was like the easiest business model that I ever come across. I was just literally taking pictures of something, putting it on eBay. I downloaded a couple tools that were like auto listers. So I would just create a bunch of listings and have them go live at certain times, and then have bid snipers built in on the back end, so that if anybody were to ever lowball my listing, lowball my auction, I would have it pulled down, and then I'd put it back up a couple days later at a higher price. And I was always keeping track of what items actually sold at a specific price point, making sure that I actually maximized my full value of what the items that I was actually selling. And 90% of what I was selling was electronics, video games from PS2 era, PS3 era. And then my buddies and we got the bright idea one day, just why don't we just check Craigslist, right? Craigslist has a free section. So him and we'd wake up every morning and we would just scour the free section. We'd find stuff, we'd hit people up, and then we'd go pick up some free stuff that was in pretty decent equipment, pretty decent shape, clean it up, then resell it on eBay. And that was a pretty lucrative business. And we got a bunch of buddies around us to actually help us out with that. And it turned out to be pretty profitable for quite some time.
You gotta love the hustle. And that's why you're on this podcast, Joshua. That's why you're here, because the hustle is strong with you. You didn't waste any time. You got started the right way. You moved from step to step, and now you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I think. But it's always awesome to hear those origin stories and how people got started. Frank has a similar story, which we might not be jumping into today. He doesn't usually jump into that too much, but he had his. I want to call him the king of eBay at a certain point, maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that.
Yeah. I mean that's a podcast on its own, right? We were all in the arbitrage space, right? And we were all just flipping and reselling, and there was a space that I was in. And I know the hustle that comes into it, man. Obviously, I'll wait to be ready to expose that. I'll probably write a whole post about it. Not there yet, but trust me, Joshua, I feel it, and I know it.
For now, Frank, I think while we're about to introduce our first cameo appearance, I think we should talk about that time when you met LL Cool J.
Oh yeah, sure. So you're bringing out all my stories today, right? So
I thought of a good Frank story. We're not saying the other one, so you got to say something.
Yeah. So I was at a restaurant with my wife. We're eating, and he happened to be sitting next to me. I didn't realize towards the end of the dinner. And I kept seeing everybody coming up to him to ask for pictures and bother him, and it was driving him crazy. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be that guy. Obviously, I wanted his contact somehow. So what I did was that before we left, I went and I paid for his bill. I told the waiter that I'll take care of the bill. And as I left, I was like, listen, I just want to tell you I'm a huge fan of yours. Here's my business card. This is what I do. And I paid your bill, man, just to show you my appreciation to your music and what you've done for me throughout my young years of life, right? Listening to his music. And he ended up becoming a client, right? So it was one of those bold moves where I was like, let me not be like everybody else taking pictures. Let me just give him something versus asking. And it turned into a thing, man. So, yeah. David has me telling all my stories today, man.
There we go. There we go.
It's a new thing going
The
on.
hustle is strong with Frank too, as we might know.
Shout out to LL Cool J, man. Fan.
Thank you, LL Cool J, for becoming a Creative Percent client. So we have a couple of cameo appearances here today. Nir.
Yo, Joshua, everybody knows you, bro.
From Israel.
What's up, Nir? How you doing?
From the Holy Land.
From the Holy Land. David, so I see some cool cameos that we have back here.
We got some cool cameos. I'm going to bring on the first cameo right now.
I'm a fan of both.
Joshua, do you know Lisa?
No, I do not, but now I do.
That's why we wanted you, Lisa. I wanted to do an intro on a live podcast.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Josh. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lisa. How are you?
I'm
Sup,
good.
Lisa?
Hey Frank, how y'all doing? Hi David. I'm so upset we didn't get to do this the other day. I heard you guys say that this has been in the works for a while, and when you said that we were gonna do it, I was like, awesome. And I brought my Dickie jersey to work, and I wasn't ready today. I was gonna rep Lil Dickie, and I'm like, I don't have it.
You mean like this?
Yes.
Yo, that's crazy. I think I walked in, David, when you got that. The same day I was in the office, and I'm like,
you saw the excitement. You saw the excitement.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is the best gift I ever got. It was awesome.
Crazy gift. He
awesome.
wears it. He wears it. Like when he wants to be pumped in himself and jam to his music, David is one of those fans, man. So
Nice.
Great gift, man. Great gift.
Glad you like it.
So Lisa, Joshua is the host of Elite Seller Podcast. Yeah. Joshua, Lisa, and Francois are the host of Link Up Leaders Podcast. Mm-hmm. You've definitely heard of them. You might have not met Lisa, but there's no question. If you're in the Amazon space, you have to have heard of Link Up Leaders. They are definitely making some moves as well. And I might say that of all the podcasts I'm aware of, again, I like it when the hosts are not like me and Frank, where we're just talking and not so refined. You guys are of the more refined hosts, which I appreciate.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
Yeah, man, and the consistency, man. You know, I think that's where everything is, man. How consistent you guys are, and we're fans, man. We're fans. Lisa, you've been supporting us since day one, man.
Absolutely.
You came to one of our dinners. Joshua, did you come to one of our dinners yet or not yet?
No, not yet, man. I'm waiting for that special invite. I'm over here in Mexico, so it's a little bit of a challenge. So I have to fly internationally to come hang out with you guys. I'm in Mexico.
Yeah, nice. Very interesting. Very interesting. Mexico's blowing up lately, man. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things happening in Mexico, man.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things. I was actually just talking with a friend yesterday who was telling me that he's down in Tulum and how it's a little bit tumultuous to actually be down there because the cartels are fighting over who's going to actually own the city. Right. So people are getting got left and right. So be careful. That's why I'm on that's why I'm in center Mexico. You know, you can always go over to the west side. It's a little bit safer.
They might leave the cocaine industry and start getting into production since this is such a huge demand. They'll probably own all those factories out there, man, and start producing massively. People are sourcing to Mexico now, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's good to see Latin America play a course there, man.
It is. It's really important, honestly, because the economy here in Mexico, from what I've seen, has been tanked since COVID, right? So Best Buy is out of business out here in Mexico. A lot of places are very short staffed, and people are just taking jobs left and right. So if anybody in the e-com community, if you guys want to bring your money over here in Mexico, it is very good. You'll get a great return on it. You'll get some quality leather products. You'll get some quality woodworking products.
Yeah.
Mexicans, they work extremely hard. You're going to get a faster turnaround time too. Like, consider the fact that the lead time from China to the United States all the way to California is a ridiculously long time, man. This is your neighbor to the south. Hit us up. What's up?
Yeah, you want to know something? And I can foresee the future with a lot of like Latin American countries getting strictly involved in the e-com space.
Mhm.
And like we're right next to Florida, right? I could see Dominican Republic, I could see Cuba, Colombia, a lot of these countries playing these factors,
Mhm.
just because it's an opportunity for them to get the products out to the U.S. quicker, right? China's great. China's great prices. People want their stuff to be there and to be a trusted source, right? So I'm excited to see what the future brings for these countries that are stepping up to the plate.
So, guys, we have our second cameo appearance here. Joshua, I think you know him. How we doing, Liron? Happy Friday.
I'm doing great. How are
What's up,
you?
Larry?
I do know Josh.
Was this
What's up, Larry?
episode 1 of Elite Seller, I believe? No, I think Liron was number 1.
Episode 1 of the Elite Seller podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
I figured I'd go back to episode 1 and bring it all back,
Love
Sounds
it. What's up, Leron? How are you, man?
Good. What's the topic of conversation?
Post-purchase engagement.
Yeah.
Post-purchase engagement and like customer lifetime value, how it's extremely important in 2022 moving forward.
Definitely. My prediction for 2022 is at some point Amazon will start giving you that data on lifetime value of a customer because cost per click is going up, right? Advertising costs are going up. How can I sustain paying, getting a 40%, 50%, 60%, 70% ACoS unless I know what the lifetime value of that customer is? If I know I have a $20 product and I pay 100% ACoS, but that customer then buys 5 other things from me throughout the year, as a result, then I will be willing to pay 100, 120, 150% ACoS, and Amazon will continue to increase their ad revenue if they give me that data. So what I think that it will make a lot of sense for Amazon to start giving sellers like the actual lifetime value of a customer, or 12-month value at least of a customer, in the data, and that it will help them. It will help them make this increased ad costs more sustainable, which would be awesome for sellers to be able to get the actual accurate data. You only have bits and pieces from it of it currently in repeat purchase behavior.
So, what would you say is a good way to increase the customer to come back? Like, how do you get them?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you guys have talked about post-purchase funnels.
We haven't actually even brought anything up, man. We just brought up the topic and you just started riffing. But I would say one thing that's increasingly important is just outside of post-purchase engagement, brand building, right? That's one aspect on Amazon, right? So you could think about it. I think a lot of e-com sellers need to stop romanticizing Amazon and think of the grand scheme of things, right? So Amazon is just one aspect of the general e-com community. So think of your brand, think of your customer journey, think of your brand's journey, and think of your customer lifetime value. Obviously, post-purchase engagement is the key aspect in my personal opinion. And that comes down to product inserts. You can get your reviews on or off Amazon, whichever way you want. I'm not saying to do anything crazy or to try to manipulate any kind of reviews, but just being able to follow up with your customer and actually give them the experience. If you're able to actually tell a story of your brand and get your customers engaged with that and get them to follow you on social media, get them to follow you on podcasts, on Instagram, on your TikTok, whatever it may be, that's one aspect of engagement right there. So you're actually getting a one-to-one connection. And then 2, you can provide better customer support, better customer success, better offers to your buyers by actually getting them to engage with your post-purchase with your post-purchase insert, with your product insert. And so you have to ask yourself, like, how's your product insert game? Is it you're just offering them a free product? Are you offering them a PDF? Are you offering them any kind of warranty? Are you offering them a gift card? Are you trying to corral them in? Or is your customer lifetime value focused on a 1-week time frame, or is it focused on the customer journey of the next year? So these are a couple of things that I think that Amazon sellers really need to focus on if they truly want to actually be really competitive. Because again, everything that's going on right now with Amazon, you have suspensions going on left and right. Amazon's cracking down, supply chain bottlenecks. So when that opens up, just think about this: when the supply chain finally opens up and you get a surge of inventory into Amazon, everybody's going to start getting into this price war, and that price war is going to lead to people dropping their price, and the people that are actually that have better brand focused products, they're actually going to win out overall. So that's what I'm highly emphasizing that people should really focus on is the post-purchase engagement, brand building, and customer journey.
One thing to add in is so Josh talking about kind of post purchase, right? There's also new Amazon opportunities within in platform to do this. So one of the things Amazon has added, within the last year or so is like Amazon Posts. And Amazon Posts and the storefront now both allow you to get followers.
Yep.
And getting these followers, um, I believe Amazon will be showing the followers when you have a deal or coupons or things like that on their app homepage. The other thing Amazon added recently on Seller Central is the customer engagement tool, which allows you to email your followers. Generally, you'll need to build up a strong following in order for that to pay off. Amazon recommends don't even send an email unless you have at least 1,000 followers. And with people opting out and open rates and everything else, right? Like if you don't, even at 1,000, it may not make a huge impact. But if you send traffic to your storefront, if you do Amazon post, if you're doing influencer marketing and you tell them, hey, make sure to follow us on our storefront, because when we have discounts or deals, you'll get notifications and new products, and you build that up, then you'll also be able to actually do some kind of limited email marketing within Amazon. Amazon doesn't allow you to really write up copy. It's basically all like click for like these 5 different subject lines, click which products you want to do, and Amazon sends the email. So you don't have as much control, but we see Amazon leaning into allowing brands to directly communicate with an audience, and again, increasing that lifetime value of the customer as you are able to send your followers messages. So I think to Josh's point, this combination of in Amazon building with external post-purchase follow-up together can help you get more out of your that one purchase that somebody makes, or build a real brand. And I think 2022 is sellers shifting from being sellers to being brand builders, and not just focused on Amazon tactics, especially as some of those start to disappear, with search, find, buy, and more rules. And prediction I'm hearing is that in Q1, Amazon will be going more after these link manipulations, etc. It could be true, it could not be true. It's kind of rumors that I'm hearing. But if so, it'll force people to become better marketers as opposed to better sellers, better brand builders.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between being a product provider and being an actual brand. And that pivot point is really in the follow-up, because you can sling products left, right, and center. You could be the Dollar General on Amazon all day, every day, and have a litany of products, a cornucopia of products, so to speak, where it's just like there's no real consistency, there's no real format. Or you could just make yourself into the next Dollar Shave Club or the next Manscaped. I'm a dude, so I'm just going to mention man products.
We just got some TMI there, Josh.
Yeah. Or the what is it, Dr. Squatch? So like some unique brands that are like focused around a specific target audience versus the everyday product where you're selling coffee mugs.
Next thing we know, you'll mention your Speedo purchase.
Yeah, I actually do have Speedos, man. I get those from Adam and Eve. Those are fantastic. Good sling ring.
What do you guys think for like arbitrage sellers with all these updates and Amazon becoming more social? Does that mean they're like behind the 8 ball at this point? Like they're missing out on a very big. I mean, at least in 2022, it seems like it'll continue to grow as a bigger piece of Amazon.
I mean, my opinion on arbitrage is that I think there's always going to be room for it. I think arbitrage is a hustle, not an asset that you build up, right? You don't hear of too many arbitrage exits, right? So arbitrage is like a hustle, and I think it's a great entry point into Amazon. That's how I got started in Amazon with arbitrage. It's how a lot of big sellers that I know got started. And it's a way to build up cash flow if you, need that immediate cash and don't have the increasing funds that you need to start getting into private label. Arbitrage is a good good hustle, and I know sellers that have built up actually $10 million businesses with arbitrage and have teams of shoppers that go out throughout the country, and they're very systematized. Not so easy to do, but I think there's there's room for it, but like you said, you're missing out on actually building up an asset that you can build and sell and exit. And I think you want to get to a point in your business life where you start something with thinking about what is the long-term view? Is there an exit in mind in the business? But when I got started in business life in my 20s, I had no idea what exit was or thinking about exit or any of that. So I don't think any of it's a bad way to start. Just make money, right? That should be like goal number one is like, how do I generate a dollar of profit on Amazon? And then from there, you'll evolve into future things. But I do think your own brand is a lot more powerful than a hustle type of business.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, guys. So as we close out the last couple minutes, I want to give Lisa a chance. Do you have any thoughts on post-purchase engagement? Any questions? Anything you want to add?
It's just really interesting to hear kind of all these changes that Amazon specifically is making, because that's not really the space that, we work in specifically. We're, as a company and as a show, platform agnostic, as we like to say. But we were having a conversation yesterday, and I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts of what do you think is a more powerful post-purchase engagement strategy, SMS or email marketing?
Honestly, I think email is a little bit easier to capture. SMS is a bit more personal, right? That's on a one-to-one basis. Like if again, I'm a young guy dating, you don't ask a girl for an email, you ask her for a phone number, right? So in business, you ask for somebody's email, and then over time, after you get to know them a little bit better, you can ask for the phone number.
Yep.
So it's all about tact. Asking for the phone number right away can easily have a backlash. And I can say when I was running my agency, that was the last thing that I asked for was the phone number. Email is so much easier to communicate with people, but it's also easier for people to forget. So you can always ask what their preference is ahead of time and get them to engage, right? So, hey, what's the best phone number I can reach you on? Is this an easy way for you to actually, for me to get a hold of you later on to let you know about unique product offers or let you know about special opportunities that we have or become part of our brand ambassadorship? That's a great way to do it. But if they prefer to email, then provide an email. I think another level is just the social engagement. If you can connect with them on Instagram, that's probably a little bit more personal. It's a step away from the phone number because, again, that's direct access.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that any and all of them can be effective. Some of them can be abused a little more easily than others, like SMS, because like you said, it's much more personal. But when you look into some of these filters that like Gmail has put in, I don't know if you guys have been getting them, but if you don't open anything within your promotions or your social tab over X amount of time, it's like, hey, do you want to unsubscribe from this?
Right.
So your Gmail's almost working against you. I don't know. Liren, what do you think?
I mean, I definitely. I mean, I think open rates are going to be significantly higher on SMS. But I think email is more for nurturing a relationship, and SMS is more for like it's got to be really important, for you to because you said it's more intimate, and it's got to be really important. And it's much easier for me to unsubscribe out of SMS too. Like it's more annoying, right? If you're getting multiple messages on your phone, it's going to bother you more than email because chances are you have push notifications and it's popping up, and it's much easier to unsubscribe. So, I recently I just signed up for certain creators or influencers have community and they have the text messaging, right? And recently, just one person I'd signed up for, and I did want to hear with. He was just sending too many messages. I just unsubscribed. I just stop, right? You send that stop, and you're out. So I think you have to be a lot more careful, and I think it's really kind of how they work well together. Like email marketing, it's more long form. I want to nurture a relationship, but SMS is like, hey, this weekend we have a sale, 20% off. Wanted to make sure you were aware, right? So I really think it's integrating them together, and that kind of like message you're going to get, 80-90% open rates on. But emails where, emails where like you probably want to send more frequent messages. As opposed to like being in your face with SMS. So I think it's kind of like the art of how to use the right message in the right platform at the right time.
Yeah, finding that balance.
Yes.
You really struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on this subject. I'm going to say SMS now. And the reason why I'm going to say SMS, right? Because again,
I changed your mind.
No. I like to envision both sides of the spectrum, right? So hypothetically speaking, somebody purchases a product, they have a product insert. Everybody has their phone within less than 5 feet of them. Mine is right here on my desk, right? So their phone is very close. If you have a QR code it's going to be hard to actually scan it on a computer, right? So you take out your phone, you take out your camera, you scan it, or they give you an SMS short code. You just punch that in real quick. You send a text message to say, hey, thank you for your purchase of XYZ product. As a follow-up, if you could provide us your order ID real quick, we'll verify your order and we'll get you over to our special prize or our unique ambassadorship group. That's a very fast way to get somebody's phone number right there. But it's also a sideline way of doing it. And they have to be really comfortable with that. So again, if you're not going to go after their phone number directly, you can always give them a QR code that's going to lead them to like a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group chat, or even just direct them over to your social media page, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be. And you can actually just sideline that information, get them directly siloed over there to whatever they see fit is the best way to actually communicate with them. So it's all about the thought process, right? You're given the tools out there and the methodology. It's just knowing how to actually use them in the right places in the right time, like Leron was saying.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We love always, like, when we have, this was good content. This was very, very valuable. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Thank you, boys.
Thanks for having me on.
Good seeing you again, Larry.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, guys. I'll see ya.
Nice meeting you, Alyssa.
I want to stick to the music.